and welcome to the GRADD Dialogue. Today my guest is John Alexander. I like the name, by the way. I told you this before, John Alexander. He is the new CEO of Family YMCA in Owensboro. And I just learned that, and he may talk about that too. The Family YMCA is in Owensboro for over 125 years or so. So it's a really great history for us. John, who just moved to Owensboro, as a graduate of Olivet Nazarene University in Illinois, I would imagine. He has a business administration degree and served him well in the family insurance agency, where he worked with his father before assuming the ownership. John became involved in the Danville, Illinois YMCA as a volunteer, coach, fundraising broker, and also joined as a board of director and also became chairman. And in 2001, John was selected to run that WISE of CEO position, and served in that position for 12 years, and then he joined, and so also served on the 6 years as a national YMCA USA as a regional director in Illinois, and serving 44 WISE as a consultant and a business partner. Since July of 2019, he is the new YMCA CEO in Owensboro. He and his wife Margie moved to Owensboro in July. So now you are the Owensboro's YMCA CEO and also the resident. So really YMCA is in your blood.
It is.
I don't know how the business administration kind of went with the YMCA. You know,
well, God had a way of working that out, because certainly there is a business model that the YMCA needs to adhere to, and that certainly served me well, Jiten, as far as the educational part, and then also being in business for 28 years with my father and the business in that regards too.
You know, we always remember the name, you know, Family Y. You know, I'm going to Family Y. That's the reference in talk shows and everything else. People in Owensboro, you know, again over the time, you know, the new residents come in and everything else, may not know exactly what is YMCA. And you know, why it's called YMCA, and is it in YWCA too, you know, and all those things.
Right.
It's going to give us some history on that, and then you know what brought your attention to come to Owensboro.
Yeah. So just a brief history of the YMCA worldwide. It was founded in London, England, in 1844, and I always like to refer to June 6th, which is D-Day, 1944. Well, 100 years to the day before.
Wow.
That was George Williams' starting point for the YMCA. And his vision was to bring young men together, because there were a lot of bad things that they could engage in.
Right.
And he wanted to give them a safe haven and a place to enjoy each other's company. Bible studies were a main ingredient of that. In 1851, December 29th, as a matter of fact, there was a gentleman by the name of Valentine that brought the Y to the Boston area. That was the first Y in the United States. North America had already had a Y in Montreal, as a matter of fact, but from the United States standpoint, our birthday is, for the YMCA standpoint, is December 29th of 1851.
Wow.
So if you go back to 1844, this was our 175th anniversary of the YMCA's worldwide. Our YMCA was chartered. There were a couple of stops and starts, but the YMCA actually took a foothold on May 28th of 1895 here in Owensboro. So we'll be celebrating 125 years coming up in 2020.
So have you even heard about Owensboro before you came here?
Yes, you know, it's interesting.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but we had traveled. It's about a 4-hour drive back to where I grew up. But we would come through Henderson and then just keep on going south to Nashville and never turned left. And we'd heard of Owensboro, but this position came open in the spring. And so my wife and I made a secret shopping tour down here over the Easter weekend back in April. And we were just thoroughly impressed with the friendliness of the folks. We ate at Old Hickory, which you can't get a bad meal there, I don't believe. Took in the farmer's market and just really enjoyed a couple of days here, and then decided that we would go ahead and apply and see if God wanted us to come. So through the application process and the interviews, the board chose us to be the new CEO here, and my wife and I moved. I started July the 8th, and we actually had the moving van show up at 20th of July. So it's been rather fast and furious here as far as relocation.
So the Owensboro YMCA, the CEO prior to you taking this position, and has not been a permanent one. It's kind of been interim.
They had
Okay.
interim, yeah, for about 14 months. After the previous CEO resigned and left, the agreement was with the Louisville YMCA to help with management of the Y until they could locate a new CEO. So there were actually 3 execs that were here on an interim basis during that time.
So let's talk about where it is, and what kind of activities goes within that in the YMCA in Owensboro.
So our mission with the YMCA nationwide, as well as here in Owensboro, is to put Christian principles into practice through programs that build a healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. And the holistic approach with the spirit, mind, and body is important. Many people still think of us as a swim and gym, which is the physical side, but we want to focus on the mental side as well as the spiritual side as well. And those are important. The last 2 words of our mission statement, Jiten, are for all. And that's very important to us, that we welcome anyone, whether they're of any faith or denomination or not. There's not a requirement to be a Christian. There's not a requirement to be Muslim or Hindu or whatever in that case. We'd like to welcome everybody in that situation. There are rare exceptions when we have to excuse people because of maybe their police record or something to that effect, but we try our very best. And that includes scholarships. If people are unable to afford our programming or our membership fees, we do our best to try and accommodate them financially as well.
So if somebody's watching this show and then they say, hey, I'd like to find out how much, how can I become a member of the YMCA and what YMCA could offer, so what would you tell them? Certainly
we welcome them to come and take a tour. We actually have 2 facilities, and I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But we ask them to come to our family Y at 900 Kentucky Parkway and let us give them some details, especially try to find out their interests. Do they like aquatics? Are they swimmers? Are they looking for just general exercise, weight loss? Is there a childhood obesity issue that they would like for us to help with in that regards as well? They're welcome to come to the Y. We'll be happy to, again, give them a tour or talk with them, sit them down and discuss their needs, and then talk about their financial capabilities of whether they can or cannot perhaps fully afford our fees and charges.
But in the YMCA, generally, like you said, people associate with exercise and swimming, or maybe a camp. And if you're children, they got a camp that you guys do that too in the summertime, or after school camp or something like that. So how do you differentiate between, over the years, a lot of competition?
Yeah.
So why people should consider YMCA for their kids or for themselves compared to any other physical fitness facilities that we have, public or private?
Yeah, so let me just give you a couple of things. Our vision with the Y is to serve as a foundation to build a healthy community and a strong community. That doesn't mean that we're the only foundation, but we certainly want to be a part of the foundation for the community as a whole. The other areas, we have 3 focus areas as well that I want to highlight, and that being youth development is very important to us, healthy living, and social responsibility. And people probably know what youth development would mean, just trying to help raise kids in a safe environment and give them an opportunity to experience networking as well as physical activity, maybe even homework help in some of our programs as well. The healthy living aspect of it, again, includes exercise, but we also want to help them with diet and any other aspects of that, including mental health. We feel like the networking opportunity at the Y is a positive. The social responsibility is a little bit more vague or maybe harder to understand. And so that aspect of it is important. We want to help the community. And again, part of our social responsibility is helping with financial support to those that can't fully afford.
So with all that, when you talked about your mission and everything else, let's talk about kind of put it down to some of the activities that people can kind of associate, that you have. And also more importantly, I think, as a CEO now, what do you are thinking about making a change, or what needs to be done for Owensboro YMCA to be another successful 125 years or so of the history?
That's right. And you and I probably won't be around for another 125 years.
Yeah.
But we certainly want to make sure it sustains in that case. The aspect of our current programs, again, I'm trying to see what needs in the community have not been met, Jiten. So That's important in my estimation, that we need to make sure we're meeting needs or enhancing the needs,
Right.
meeting the needs in an enhanced fashion in that regards too. From our youth standpoint, of course, swimming lessons have been a benchmark or a real pivotal point for us. We developed swim lessons back in the late 1800s to accommodate the swimming situation. There's still so many young people as well as adults that do not know how to swim. And so we have adult lessons available in that regards, as well as other child lessons, of course, in that situation. Another aspect of our youth programming is our summer camps. You mentioned that earlier, as well as our after-school and holiday camps. So we're trying to build on that a little bit too. We have approximately 50 young people in our after-school program right now. We'd like to take that off campus and locate into maybe some of the schools or other community locations as well. And we're trying to work with collaborations and partnerships there. But that's certainly important. The camp situation too is we're trying to improve that and look at collaboration opportunities there.
Now, you mentioned all these programs, so is it supported solely through the membership fees, or do you any public support or private support? How do you finance the YMCA activities?
Good, that's a good question. So there are basically 4 elements of our funding. The membership fees that folks will pay are part of that. The program fees for our camps or after-school programs, swim lessons, things of that are another part or factor in that regards. Public support is important. Many folks sometimes overlook the fact that we are a public charity. We're a 501c3, and that public support is extremely important to us so that we can afford the financial support that we can in the scholarship program. And then finally, there is some government money that we receive. It is usually very small, but usually comes from child care support that the state offers. And then there's a 5th element, meaning grants or foundational support in that regards too, which is really important to us.
Now, let's not forget that by the time that we have, tell us about the other location and also what is the membership fee?
Yes, so the membership fees, again, are flexible because of the ability to pay. So I don't want to quote something just because of the fact that we may be able to adjust that. Our other location is on Chuck Gray Court, which is across from the dealership, the Don Moore dealership there on Frederica, just before 60. It is an adults-only facility, and it's called the Athenian, and it is where we conduct a lot of our classes. The Family Y is probably more familiar to those on the in the Owensboro and Davis County area.
So John, since July, you and wife have been members of the citizens of Davis County or Owensboro. What do you expect? What do you want to make a change that you as a CEO now?
Yeah, thank you. I think the awareness of our why it needs to be enhanced, and that's one of my prime directives that I want to make sure that we're doing. I want to also enhance the quality of our programs, Jiten, and make sure that we are meeting needs, but then also doing it in a quality way where we can exemplify our 5 core values, I should say, which is caring, respect, responsibility, honesty, and faith. Those are the key things that I want to make sure we're incorporating into all of our programs as well.
That's great. Good luck to you, and also good luck being a new CEO and also being in Owensboro. We'll be glad to work with you as a grad. And also one of the things that you may want to consider, maybe you're already considering, is baby boomers, coming in, and they, because we do work with the seniors or coming seniors. I think it's great for them to get involved, which I'm sure they are to some extent in the YMCA as well. So
that's good.
Yeah, I want to wish you best of luck and visit us, and I'd like to work with you.
Thank you for hosting me today.
Sure. I've been talking to John Alexander. He's a new CEO at the Family YMCA in Owensboro. He recently moved as CEO, so I think he is really hungry for new ideas and new partnership and everything else. So how can they contact you?
At the YMCA, my office number is 270-663-8205, or stop by. I'd love to meet individuals.
Stop by and meet John at one of the 2 facilities. One is on Kentucky Parkway. Another one is at the Athenian, which is off Frederica Street. Again, if you have any question, always call John or call myself, and you have a great day.